Greetings! Welcome to this guide on teleportation relics in RuneScape 3, Leagues 2, Equilibrium. The teleport tier is based on the relics from last League's tier 3, but even more powerful. Players choose one relic out of the following three: Nature's Network, Assassin's Insight, or Voidwalker. Keep in mind that relic choices are permanent, so choose wisely. However, last League's rejuvenated relic may return at tier 4, so you could choose a second relic in the same tier, below tier 4. Nature's Network gives you the Fairy Mushroom, which lets you teleport to any fairy ring, spirit tree, or farming patch in areas you've unlocked. Farming crops grow instantly to full. Finally, planting one herb seed counts as 10. Assassin's Insight gives you the Skull of Slain, which lets you teleport to any Slayer Master, Slayer Dungeon, and Slayer Target in areas you've unlocked. When getting a Slayer assignment, you have the option of changing it to the minimum or maximum amount of that Slayer target. Preferring and blocking monsters no longer cost Slayer points. Elite monsters are 5 times as likely to spawn and provide 5 times as much Slayer XP. Finally, you gain the effects of the Corrupted Slayer Helmet. Voidwalker gives you the Abyssal Conduit, which lets you teleport to any destination granted by most jewelry items in areas you've unlocked. For example, the Amulet of Glory's teleport to Edgefill in Mistfallin. You also gain Void Shards while training skills, which contain Clue Scrolls, Divination Energy, Golden Hawk Feathers, Divine Geodes, Blessed Fire Spirit Rewards, and more. Let's analyze the relics. Nature's Network is a buffed version of last League's Fairy's Flight relic. The teleportation feature remains the same. Nature's Network is area dependent in that certain areas have significantly more teleports. All areas except Anachronia and the Wilderness have at least one fairy ring. Specifically, Karamja, Asgarnia, Kandarin, and Tiranan have at least one spirit tree. Being able to make spirit tree rerouters and portable fairy rings with Invention make the relic less important for these teleports. All areas except Anachronia have at least one farming patch. The farming patch teleports are more useful for getting around than training farming, because the insta-growth means that you can just camp a farming patch and plant a large amount of seeds in one sitting. The insta-growth also makes farming well over 100 times as fast. Given that last League had a passive effect that removed the limit on casting the advanced time spell, you may be able to use this as a significantly less efficient alternative to the insta-growth. Getting effectively 10x yield from herb seeds means you don't need to gather as many, so this makes herbs easier to source for herblore training. Assassin's Insight has been buffed from last League. The teleportation feature remains the same. Most areas have at least one teleport option. Havenhive may have an option to teleport to Sanguine Crawlers. The Slayer Cape's perk of teleporting to Slayer Masters and existing teleports to Slayer Dungeons, or nearby, make the relic less important for those teleports. However, certain teleports to Slayer targets are the fastest travel method by far, because the targets are in relatively remote places. Last League, I found Assassin's Insight particularly useful for navigating Anachronia. Being able to choose between minimum and maximum amounts on Slayer assignments means that you can do 9 short tasks from a low-level Slayer Master, 1 long one from a high-level one, rinse and repeat to farm Slayer points efficiently. Preferring and blocking being free saves you points to spend on other Slayer rewards. The Elite Slayer monster buffs make drop farming less RNG dependent and noticeably boosts Slayer XP rates. Finally, the Corrupted Slayer Helm effect frees up the head slot for other items and makes the Desert Kandra Mauritania area combination less important for the Corrupted Slayer Helmet. Voidwalker has been buffed from last League. The teleportation feature remains the same. All areas except Havenhive and Anachronia have at least one teleport option. The teleportation compactor from Invention and jewelry box added with the recent construction rework make Voidwalker less important for these teleports. The Void Shard feature is more valuable. This gives rewards from the Crystal Grace, Superheated, and Tier 1 Golden Touch relics, so to some degree Voidwalker could fill the void from not choosing the other relics. In conclusion, which relic you choose depends on personal preference, which may be influenced by synergy with other relics, areas, combat blessings, and character build. Skillers focused on training, farming, and herblore who have Asgarnia, Kandarin, and Tyrannon unlocked may prefer Nature's Network to get the full value of Spirit Tree Teleportation, plant and harvest crops faster, and gather herbs from farming more easily. PVMers, particularly those focused on Slayer, who have Anachronia unlocked, may prefer Assassin's Insight to get to Slayer targets faster, farm Slayer points, and elite monster drops more reliably, and skip the Corrupted Slayer helmet grind and the area combination required for it. Skillers focused on artisan/production skills who don't have any one of Crystal Grace, Superheated, or Golden Touch may prefer Voidwalker to passively gain resources to train those skills. For other players who may not fit into the above categories, I would rank Nature's Network first and Assassin's Insight a close second only because of Nature Network's buffs compared to Fairy's Flight, and Voidwalker easily third because it's devalued by items in the main game and other relics. However, opinions on this may vary. If you're interested in more content like this, then be sure to let me know by subscribing, leaving a comment, or liking and sharing the video. Hitting the bell icon on the subscribe button helps you to stay up to date with my latest content. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.